right, so we have our sweet little calculator. And by the way, if you are struggling, remember there's always office hours and that sort of thing that you can find on Canvas. So if we need to now add some additional functionality, so I want to make it so that you're not just giving me the bill, you're not just giving me the tip, you're also going to tell me the total number of people I need to split it apart. So this is an opportunity for another one of our pickers. So we're going to make it so that the user can choose between multiple people using kind of a more normal standard issue picker, the little slidey thingy. And so that's a picker. And from a user perspective, it probably makes sense for that to go after the bill, before the tip. And so I'm going to put it inside of here. You scroll down. Sorry. After the bill, before the tip. So I'll put it right here. It's not going to like this because it's not inside of a section. So once I start using sections, I need to continue using sections. Okay. So now I have a picker inside of this thing. And what I want this picker to do is just like my last picker that I'd had down here, I need to give it a little hint as to what the thing is. And so we'll go ahead, because this one you can see shows picker, we're going to go ahead and give it that. So we're going to call this number of people. And the selection stuff we'll tie into in a second, into using one of our bindings. We'll get to that in a second, but right now let's go ahead and run it and see what it looks like. All right, and so you can see when I hit this, oh, it's not letting me do what I want to do. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second, but I can say we're back here. It still works. Cool. I haven't broken that by adding that section. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this picker into like a more normal standard issue slidey picker. And so I'm going to do a little bit of shuffling of this picker code. So I'm going to call this up here number of people, just like we did before for our segment control. We're going to get rid of the label. And we're going to tie it to a bound variable. So I'm going to, in a second, create a new variable called number of people, but I'm going to just use it right here. That'll cause an error message, but it'll be all right. Number of people. And then I'm going to go ahead and create that state private variable called number of people. And then I can see down here that for number of people, I need to make this a little bigger for my own sanity. Sorry, it's starting to drive me crazy how tight everything is. For here, for number of people, I have, okay, 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. Let's go ahead and tweak that. So we're going to make it so you can have up to 10 people. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And yes, there is a programmatic way to do all this, but we're not going to get into that yet. 3, 4, 5, 6. I bet this is the most interesting YouTube video you've watched in a real long time, with all these typing in numbers business. Just crucially cool and exciting. Okay. So now I have number of people, and the user can pick from the picker the total number of people that they have inside of their party, and that will feed into the state variable number of people. So let's go ahead and screw around with our bill here. Now, what I like to do is not just show the user. When I think about splitting the bill, I like to think about, okay, what's the total bill with the tip? And then what's the total bill each person should pay? So I'm going to change my label down here. Instead of saying total bill, it's going to say total bill with tip. And then I'm going to create another text field down there. Inside of the same selection. It's not going to like that, so I'm going to create, first I'm going to create a V stack in order to put these things together. And then I'm going to put a text in there. So I could use the little plus to do it, or it's pretty simple to remember what text is, so I'm just going to do it myself. And the content that I want to say. So this is going to be like total bill split. And we'll populate that in a moment. All right, we'll resume this so we can see what it looks like. Okay, sweet, sweet, sweet. Great, that's kind of looking like what I want. And so we have, and I want to make these things left justified. So I'm going to pull up my stuff that I've done before and make sure that the V stack is selected. Gosh, this is getting tiny. I might not do it this way for you guys again. Sorry that I did it this way. So this V stack, I want the alignment to the left. Put that away. Okay. So that's looking like how I want it. But I want this to be total bill split, and I want that total bill split to be calculated based on total after tip. So I'm going to create a new variable. This called total per person, and it's going to be a double. And for now, we're going to return again 0.0. Put down here, total bill split is I really want some more space. Okay. Total bill split is going to be the text total bill split, and then follow that by the string of total per person. Sweet. So if I resume this, it'll say total bill split 0.0, total bill with tip 0.0. Great. So let's calculate total per person. And to do that, I'm going to take total after tip and put it into a variable. And we're going to make a new variable that's called total per person. Well, that's going to get confusing. It would not cause an error message, but it makes an error message in my brain. So we'll call this split bill. And I'm going to return not 0.0, but split bill. And so if I were to run this, it would just simply make these both say the same thing, because total after tip is the same thing that we're showing in both. So I'm going to go ahead and change split bill and say it's not just total after tip. It's now going to be total after tip divided by the total number of people. And so I need to get out of that pick list, or out of that picker, I need to get the total number of people. And so to get the total number of people, I'm going to do the same kind of thing I did up here. Create a new variable called let people count. So this is the total count of the people. That's a little confusing. We'll call it user people count. And user people count is just a double conversion of number of people. Cool. And so if I look back at my number of people, that I have, I start off with the first thing is one person, and that's index is 1, 2 is index 2, 3 is index 3, 4 is index 4. You can see in this picker, because of how I set it up, there is no index of 0. So we're safe there. So there's never going to be a divide by 0 problem. And so what I'm going to say is I have user people count, and it's this double. And what I want to do is take split bill and divide it, take total after tip, and divide it by user people count. And then split bill is now whatever the total was, which is the stuff with all the tip, and divided by the total number of people that we have right there. And we should be good to go. So let's run it. we'll say we had a bunch of people, and so it's 500. Well, I don't like math. That's not easy for my 6th grade math brain to do. And so, all right, great. I got my tip calculation proper. And then we're going to choose number of people. I don't know why I'm not allowed to choose number of people. Please hold. All right, so the problem is that number of people here, you can see is trying to disclose a little thing that you would be able to choose number of people. It's by default not making a picker like a swipey picker, but it's trying to load into a new screen. Now the reason it's not working is because it can't load into a new screen, because if it were to go to a new screen, there's no way to get back out. That's because I haven't wrapped this whole thing yet inside of a navigation view, which I can't believe I forgot to do. Is this one of those standard things that you really probably should do right out of the gate? So let's go to and wrap this whole view, all the VStacks inside of a navigation view. And then hopefully I can count my number of indents properly to put that in the right place. And indent this yet again. And so now my number of people should work properly because it's inside of a navigation view. Cool. So what I can do is put in a bill, $100. I want to choose how many people. So we'll say it's $100 split by 5 people. With a 0% tip, that's easy math. $100 divided by 5 people is 20 bucks per person. But let's say we're good because it's such a large party, we're going to give a good tip. And so that means the total amount that everybody has to put in is 25 bucks. Okay, cool. So there's a little bit more styling I need to do to make this work exactly how I want it to work. So let's put a dollar sign in front of these things, and let's put a title up here so that it looks pretty. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is make sure we have a dollar sign in front of these things. So that's easy just by doing this. Now I'll take the string total bill split space dollar sign and then put the dollar right after that. So cool. And then the last thing I want to do is take my VStack, which is this one right here, and add a navigation bar title. And I want the title to be tip calculator. Nope, sorry, didn't need the title part. And now my little tip calculator app. And it looks awesome, and it works great. So you're going to pay for $1,000, split among 10 people, big party, and there's 20%. And so each person needs to pay 120 bucks. Great, cool. My tip calculator works. Hopefully this explains how to use different types of input, different types of pickers, and bindings are crucial as well. Check out Canvas, or not Canvas, yeah, check out Canvas for the next steps.